Hi everyone, it's Melissa. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so thrilled that you are here. I'm here today to talk about my February reads, give you a wrap up of what I've been reading during the month of February. So I only read, let's see if we can do this. I only read five books this month, you can see. And so let's get into talking about them. First one I read was Elizabeth Strout's Olive Again. This is the sequel to Olive Kitteridge, which is a book that I read years ago, absolutely loved, and I really enjoyed this follow-up to Olive Kitteridge. In this book, we meet Olive when she's a bit older. She is in her 70s, and I think the book takes place over a time span of about 15 years or so. And it's about, and this is an Olive, we remember her, those of us who have read the original Olive books, but we remember her as very brusque, very arrogant, someone who's incredibly opinionated, says what she thinks. And those qualities are definitely still there in Olive, in her, as she's getting older, but she has also kind of mellowed a little bit. These are a series of linked short stories, which is a format that I absolutely adore. I don't think that there are enough books written in that format, and I love them. And I think it's great, but and it works incredibly well with this. But I think the cover is also perfect for this book too, because it is, it represents the autumn, and so Olive is in kind of the autumn of her years, and it's a time where things are dying, but it's also like a beautiful time. It's set in Crosby, Maine, where Olive Kitteridge was originally set. And so of course, like there's reference to the weather and to the seasons, and it is just real. And I think that plays in very well. I think Elizabeth Strout does a great job infusing that into the book. But I really loved this. I thought that this was fantastic. There's characters who show up from Elizabeth Strout's other novels. The Burgess boys make an appearance, and people who were in the original, the first Olive Kitteridge book. So yeah, really enjoyed this one. If it's been a while like me since you have read Olive Kitteridge and you're interested in reading this again, and you feel like you are wondering whether you should read this one, or reread Olive Kitteridge before reading this, I don't think that you have to. And certainly, if you want to, go ahead, but I don't think it's necessary. But this is a great reflection on aging. We don't have too many books with women who are, in their 70s, and I think that this one is. I thought it was great, so I gave this one 4 stars, and yeah. So second book that I read this month was Island Affair by Priscilla Oliveras. I talked about this in one of my previous videos. So on the 8th of the month, I woke up, had just a lot of pain, and it turned out to be a kidney stone, and went to the hospital and got some good meds for that. And so while I was recuperating, I just wanted a book that I could just sort of kind of chill out and not really think too much about while I was reading. And so I picked up Island Affair by Priscilla Oliveras. This was a library book that I had taken out, and I love this book. I am not a romance reader. I wouldn't say at all, but it's not really a genre that I read. But so this is a story about about Sarah Vance. She is a social media influencer, and her mother is recovering recovering from chemo, and she's just undergone like this a battle with cancer, and to celebrate being in remission, the family decides to gather together for a vacation at in Key West to celebrate, the mother's recovery. And yeah. But the problem with it is that Sarah has just never really fit in with her family. They are super high achieving. Her parents are doctors. Her sister is a doctor. I think her brother is a doctor as well. And Sarah is a social media influencer, and her parents don't understand like what that is. They don't really kind of consider it, or in Sarah's eyes, they really don't consider that to be a legitimate career. And so she's always kind of been on the outs with that. And so she invites her boyfriend to come join them with on the vacation. And so he winds up standing her up. And when she gets the phone call that he's not coming, she literally bumps into this guy, Luis, and he is a native of Key West. He's a paramedic and an EMT, and he's on a forced leave of absence from his work and doesn't have anything to do for a week. And so Sarah and he decide that he is going to be her boyfriend for the week. And so they invent this whole story about how they are, how they know each other, and yeah. So it's just a really fun read, but it really looks at some serious issues. Sarah herself is in recovery from an eating disorder, and Luis also has his own problems too. He is still dealing with some PTSD from. The reason he's on leave is because there's been an accident that he responded to that really triggered some memories of his from the past. And he is dealing with that and a failed relationship on his end. So I won't really talk too much more about this, but I would say that if you, like me, don't consider yourself a romance reader, but you're interested in picking up something a little bit light, go ahead. This one would be one that I highly recommend. So I've talked about my third book a lot, Choose Happiness. This is by my friend Rachel Cole. I'm not sure whether my chat with Rachel will be up by the time I film this video, by the time I post this video or not. If it is, I will link it below. If it's not, I'll link it below later. But this is a book. These are very short essays, very short chapters on how you can create more happiness in your own life and the lives of others. And it's just about Rachel's experiences on doing that for herself and for the people in her life. She is, like I said, she's a personal friend of mine. I blurred the book on the back. She is a singer-songwriter. She has several CDs out, and she is just one of the most joyful and happy people that I know, and I was thrilled to get a copy of this and to talk with her about this. So so I recommend this. This is the sort of book that's great to have on your night table if you want to just kind of dip in and out of it, if you need a little encouragement, you know, especially these days with all that's going on. I think that that this would be a great one to pick up. So then I read Michael Eric Dyson's Long Time Coming, Reckoning with Race in America. Just talked about that on my Sunday Salon video, so I will link to that below. But this is a small book that is really powerful. It is a series of letters to people who have lost their lives due to violence. Elijah McClain, Emmett Till, Eric Gardner, Breonna Taylor, Hadia Pendleton, Sandra Bland, and the Reverend Clementa Pinckney. So he structures this as a series of letters to these individuals, and also weaves in Black history, also talks about racism in America, how we got to this point, solutions for going forward, just the need for, as the subtitle says, a reckoning with race in America. So I would highly recommend this as well. So my final book for February, which at the time I'm recording this is February 28th. I'm not quite finished with this, but this is a very slim volume. It's only less than 170 pages. It's Joe Biden, The Life, the Run, and What Matters Now by Evan Osnos. I have 100 more pages left to read of this, and I think I'm probably going to finish this one tonight, so I'm counting it as my February reads. And so this was written, Evan Osnos is a reporter for The New Yorker. This reads very much like a New Yorker article. It's kind of like an extended profile on Joe Biden, his life, his previous runs for the presidency, his time as vice president under President Barack Obama, and what happens now at this moment in history going forward. And it's no secret that I am a huge Joe Biden fan, so of course I was interested in reading this. I think that, and Evan draws on several of his previous books, Biden's book, his memoir, Promises to Keep, and I also believe he may also draw on Promise Me Dad, his other book that was written in the aftermath of Beau Biden's death. He also interviews Joe Biden. He interviews people who have worked with Joe for a number of years, and so he draws on those interviews, on Biden's own writings, and on other sources as well. And I mean, I think this book is fine. I think if you're like me, if you have read Joe Biden's books and follow him through the years, that there's not much in here that you do not know, but it's still definitely a worthwhile read. So those are my books for February that I read. Let's see if I can hold these up. And so yeah, not a pretty good reading month, I think. I think that January was not the best reading month for me, but I'm very glad that February was much better. February does tend to be a pretty good reading month for me. Anyway, I don't know whether it's just because of the weather and it being, so cold and wintry, especially here in Pittsburgh. So, but anyway, yeah, so those are my reads for February. Tell me what you have been reading in February. I'm looking forward to hearing everybody's wrap-up videos. Tell me if you read anything great, if you have anything exciting planned for March. I talked in my Sunday Salon video about how I am, there are so many readathons going on BookTube in March, and I am participating in a few of them. I think I'm going to attempt March of the Mammoths, also the Irish readathon, and I may also do March Mystery Madness, and also the International Women's History Month readathon too. I do like to tend to read some more books by women during the month of March. So anyway, that's it for about now. Again, hope February was a great reading month for you, and I look forward to talking to you again in my next video real soon. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate your support, and until next time, happy reading. Thanks so much.